One senator referred to Omar Al-Bayoumi, who before the attacks was listed by the US government as a suspected Saudi operative living in the United States.
Mary is an imam working in Los Angeles. He works for the government. He's, in the Ministry of Islamic Affairs. He's connected to the consulate out there. And we believe the evidence is that he supported two of the 9/11 terrorists, a person named Bayoumi and other individuals, to provide them assistance. That these people these two terrorists who were Al-Qaeda members who did not know English, who didn't have any experience in the West. They show up to Los Angeles. They go to they kind of know, when they show up, they know where to go. Okay, and then they're moved down to they're moved down to San Diego. They're kept under wraps. They don't come to the attention of law enforcement. And we believe all of that was done that Tumeri, we believe the evidence will show that Tumeri and Bayoumi were government officials supporting the terrorists, and that what they were doing was consistent with the goals and aims of their agencies. And that's going to be something for the court to decide in this case.
Perhaps suspiciously, one of al-Bayoumi's close associates, Osama Basnan, was reported to have been receiving regular payments from the wife of Saudi Arabia's ambassador to the United States.
Tumeri, for example, after 9/11, leaves the United States suddenly. The FBI never gets to interview him, never gets to, he's never given testimony under oath. The only time that he was ever questioned was by a 9/11 Commission investigator. It was questioned in Saudi Arabia under the supervision of the Saudi intelligence. He's not put under oath, and he lies. He says he never heard of Mr. Bayoumi. Meanwhile, there's dozens of calls between them, and there's witnesses tying the two of them together. And the same thing with Mr. Bayoumi. He is back in Saudi Arabia before they ever get to interview him. He provides an interview. He also misleads the investigator. Right now, what we're facing is a motion by Saudi Arabia saying they're immune, they cannot be sued, and we have to get past that before we really get to the proofs.
JASTA is about getting justice for the people who lost loved ones and for the people who survived.
Well, the government really had a moral responsibility to provide monitoring, very important, and care for those who need it.
But for me, it wasn't about the money. It was always about the health care.
Well, money is all you can seek, and that's kind of the heart of what we've been talking about. The only thing that we can ask for is money.
Compensating anybody through money is just, all right, here's money. I mean, you could never get back the cost of your health, or a child, or a father, or aunt, or uncle who's died. So there is no compensation.
There isn't enough money in the world to give me my foot back. There isn't enough money in the world to bring Ray Pfeiffer back.
The client always says, there's no amount of money that's going to compensate me, that's going to make this better, that's going to make this okay. And the answer that lawyers and judges always give is, that's all there is.
The greatest compensation would be them leading their own country, them helping, taking out that ideology.
They're set in this pattern of destructive thought, and we have to engage them.
The other thing that's really difficult in the case is we are struggling with the U.S. government classifying anything that either could embarrass Saudi Arabia or anything that could lead to the discovery of some of the sources of the information.
And it's an honor to be with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, a friend of mine, a man who has really done things in the last 5 years in terms of opening up Saudi Arabia.
And so a lot of the information our government has, we don't have it because it's been classified. Obviously, the information that Saudi Arabia has, we don't have because we haven't had a chance to conduct discovery yet.
As you know, Saudi Arabia is a big purchaser of American products and especially of American military equipment. We make the best in the world by far.
In the end, there are much bigger factors than all of us that have to be accounted for. And I think that
if you look in terms of dollars, $3 billion, $533 million, $525 million. That's peanuts for you. Should have increased it. $880 million, $645 million, $6 billion. That's for frigates.
If the case gets to a certain point, all of those factors will be accounted for. The victims will be accommodated, and life will go on.
And we talked about terrorism and the funding of terrorism, and it will not be allowed. It will not be allowed. That would be the one thing that would end the relationship with any countries.
Under U.S. law, any foreign country, a foreign sovereign, is immune from the lawsuit. So you can't sue France, you can't sue Saudi Arabia, you can't, unless there's an exception to that immunity.
When you have a government actor, we have a constitution that provides sovereign immunity to both our nation and foreign nations. And
we have a very good friendship. We have a very, very good friendship, like I have with Mohammed. I mean, we have a great relationship.
We're really at the beginning of the fight.
Our obligation is to serve, protect, and defend the citizens of the United States. We are also taking strong measures to protect our nation from radical Islamic terrorism.